The Return of the Demon Flame anime has finally arrived. Blue Exorcist is slated to receive a new animated project. After 5+ years with no anime and the manga falling under the radar, at least here in the West, Blue Exorcist returning to the big screen is a pretty big deal, and I cannot express how excited I am. Now, I'm sure there is a ton of confusion and anxiety when it comes to discussing the revival of Blue Exorcist. In my mind, there are 3 major things to go over with this topic. Number 1, how did we get here? Specifically going over the original anime run and where it left off. Number 2, where have we been? Basically covering the manga, the source material that will be adapted in the upcoming project. And number 3, what's next? What we currently know about the new anime, the cast, the production, etc. So for all of you who fell off after season 2 or haven't experienced the series at all, yours truly has you covered. This sword is so sick. I got it from a friend of mine named Thomas who joined the military. I haven't seen him in years. Thomas, if you're seeing this video, I miss you. And you're never getting the sword back. The original run of the Blue Exorcist anime was controversial to say the least. Season 1 aired back in 2011 with 26 episodes. The studio behind the production was A1 Pictures. This particular studio had a fairly good track record with the series they produced, even before they worked on Blue Exorcist. A1 Pictures have continued to come out with bigger and better projects as time went on, specifically with the Sword Art series, Kaguya-sama, and most recently, Lycoris Recoil. Whether or not A1 Pictures will be returning for the new project is something we'll cover later, but their work on Blue Exorcist back in the day cannot be understated. Episodes 1 to 15 were a perfect entrance into the series. It was those last few bum episodes that f***ed it up. Excuse me. Episode 16 down completely derailed from the source material with its own ending that wasn't very good. Surprisingly, this was not uncommon for the time. There were actually plenty of anime that ended up ending differently from where the manga was going. The major examples being Full Metal and Soul Eater. My sweet, sweet prince. Someday you'll come back to me. Suffice to say, it left a sour taste in the viewer base's mouth, which ended up lingering for 6 years until season 2 in 2017. This time only running for 12 episodes and ending on course with the manga. A1 Pictures returned with better animation, better directing. They even completely ignored that wacko last section of season 1. Great for manga readers, but probably very confusing for the anime onlys. It was a necessary sacrifice. Where we ended up leaving off, I was very hopeful for the future of this series. I was so hyped, I ran immediately to read the manga in preparation for the anime to continue. But it never did. Another 6 or so years without an anime, and to be honest, it's not very clear why. One reason many series don't get continuations is because there isn't enough source material to adapt at the time. But that wasn't even the case for Blue Exorcist. There was plenty of manga to work with. And speaking of the manga for Blue Exorcist is stunning. There is nothing to debate here. Kazue Kato is a master with her pen. Pages on pages of beautiful, incredibly crafted panels and page spreads. It is on a monthly release, which you will completely understand the moment you start reading. Kato sensei has one of my favorite art styles out there. From her character designs, which are stylish and creative, to her landscapes and sense of scale. She really knows how to make you feel how large things are, which adds to the intensity. Don't even get me started on her art when it comes to the monsters and demons. Season 2 of Blue Exorcist did an excellent job at capturing Kato's vision through the animation, especially on how they handled the Impure King. If the new anime can simply improve on its production and capture how great the manga already looks, we might have a masterpiece on our hands. But that's just the visual side. The story is next level too. Blue Exorcist has one of the best, most complex stories out of the majority of Shonen Jump series to date, which is why its continued serialization after so many fell off. Kato sensei pays great attention to writing multi-layered characters with conflicting ideologies, expressing their struggles of identity and finding a right path to walk while also being an action-packed shonen with human-thirsty world-ending demons. This manga has so much mystery and intrigue. Unraveling the truths of this tale when it comes to the Vatican, the demons, Rin and Yukio's birth felt like going down a dark well that only seemed to get deeper. The romance in this series is top-notch too. It is not at all what you would expect from your typical action series that tends to treat romance like an afterthought. Work is put into making the relationships between characters feel genuine, and how everything progresses feels natural. The love triangle between Rin, Shimi, and Yukio has to be one of my favorite dynamics I've ever come across in a manga, and I cannot wait to see it unfold in the anime. It's heartfelt, it's intense, it's dark, it's exciting. Blue Exorcist has some of my favorite cast of characters that I've read in a long time. If you only watch the anime, you ain't seen nothing yet. The last thing to cover here is the announcement of the new anime project. What can we expect? Well, there is something important to remember. During the Blue Exorcist presentation at Jump Festa back in December, Season 3 was never explicitly said. So far, the only term used for this announcement has been new anime TV project, which obviously should mean a new season, but there are other possibilities. I don't think it's gonna be a movie since it says TV anime, but it could be a remake, going over the series again, but trim all the fat, like they did with Brotherhood for Full Metal. While this is a viable idea, I don't think it's a good idea, considering Season 2 exists. If they wanted to start over from the beginning, I think they should have did so before. While jumping right into the story with the third season may be disorienting for some because of the long gap between seasons, it does make the most sense. And it's not like we haven't been through this before, just ask the Attack on Titan fans. It is not confirmed if A1 Pictures will be returning to work on the project either. We have seen anime jump around from different studios in the past, but honestly, I really hope A1 Pictures makes a comeback. Season 2 was perfect, and like I said earlier, the work they've done lately has been great. LaCroix Recoil had crazy good animation, especially in the 3D and 2D modeling department. I have no issue saying this anime was one of the best of 2022. But no matter what happens, whether we get a new season or a new studio, expect the return of Blue Exorcist to the big screen to be legendary.